Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope you are doing awesome possum. In today's video, I will be covering all of the media that was publicly released throughout 2019 for Operation Black Mesa and Guard Duty. And before I get started, though, I would like to let you know that if you have any questions, feel free to check out the list of frequently asked questions, which will be listed on our forums, which you can find linked down in the description below. We do get quite a few repetitive questions that are asked over and over and over again, so if you got a question, check that bad boy out first, and that would be much appreciated. Also, you can feel free to check us out on any one of our various social media platforms, such as Mod Database. We also have a Twitter account that we post exclusive media on every once in a while, and we have a YouTube channel where we post any of our videos. And you can also check us out on our official Discord server, which we created not too long ago, where you can get a chance to chat with any of us devs, chat with the community, and anyway, let's get started, shall we? Enough blabbing. Alright, so the first media that we showed off, I believe, was around June, so we got a little bit of a late start. We showed off 2 screenshots for the chapter, the package. We're still missing a few custom assets that we need, and we are going to rework quite a bit of the terrain, but it's coming along pretty well, I'd say. And then next up, we got a screenshot from the chapter we are pulling out, and you will be pleased to know that your feedback was taken into account, and the bloom from the sun has been reduced. I believe it was cut in half, so it no longer looks like the the ground is on fire. All right, and then next up, we showed off a prop by one of our modelers, Magma Sloth. He made this oscilloscope. It looks like those knobs are much higher polygon than they really are. They're basically just smooth cylinders, but he did a great job adding the illusion of depth on those bad boys, so pretty cool. And next up, we got Nexus, who made a, what is this? It's like a safety pylon for the sides of roads. I use this quite a bit in the captive freight chapters for Guard Duty. And then Nexus also made this industrial fan model, which is actually quite large. The player can actually crouch and go in between the fan blades if the fan's not moving, obviously. And then next up, you may actually find this this prop a little familiar. It's because Nexus based it off the prop that the Black Mesa Source guys created for their game, because we quite liked it, and we figured it would add a little bit of consistency between the games. So even though it's not the exact same model, it's close enough where it's gonna feel a little bit familiar. And then next up, we got a Humvee model made by Mr. Jack. And then next up, you got some electrical box models made by yours truly. So this was shown; these were all shown in the media release update, as well as on my personal prop dev blog on the forum. If you want to check that out, that's where I usually post a few extra screenshots of my stuff and go into a little bit more detail about the process, such as this screenshot right here, where I created a dev map for level designers to easily acquire some prefabs that I put together about how to use the electrical box models in different arrangements. And then next up, you've got some roll-up door models that I created as well. These are going to be used in quite a few different environments, and just like most of my other props, the level designer can tint these from within the Hammer level editor to be whatever color they want, so they can match their environments better. And they come in a variety of different shapes and sizes. And here you can see a screenshot from Hammer where the parts are all separated. And then I just posted a couple various screenshots from within a test map showing some of the various colors and whatnot. And then next up is a pretty big update. We showed the first render of the brand new view model arms and hands for Operation Black Mesa. So these actually have gone through quite a few different tweaks and updates since the screenshot was shown. For example, those little like rubber vents near the ends of the fingers, those have been removed, and I just made it so it's just smooth fabric now that matches the rest of the glove. Alright, so next up after that, we released our first video of the year, which showcased physics-based magazine drops. So, you may be asking yourself, What the heck does that even mean? Well, basically, to put it simply, when you reload and you drop your magazine from the gun, there will be an actual physical model of the magazine that will be created in the proper position based on the animations that will actually drop onto the ground, and you can actually see it, and it won't disappear or anything. It'll actually be an object that you can interact with, so it's just a little extra thing that we figured would be kind of cool, a little extra detail, you know? And at the end of this video, the animator was simply showing off one of the fancy, rare idle animations that can play if the player is standing still for a very long amount of time. After that, we tweeted out a update to some Gargantua concept art that our artist Harry had been working on. He brought the concept art back around a little bit closer to the original design of the Gargantua model. And I gotta say, it's looking like a total beefcake, wouldn't you agree? Alright, and then after that, we released a video that I'm personally really excited and proud of. It basically showcases a brand new flashlight mechanic for guard duty that I had been nagging the team about implementing for quite a long time. I will let the audio in the video play for you here since I explain quite a bit of it in the video. Hey, what's going on everybody? Hope you are doing well today. In this video, I will briefly be demonstrating a brand new flashlight mechanic that we have been working hard to implement for guard duty. But before I get started, I would just like to disclose that this is very early work in progress, and everything that you see is subject to change. Once we get the feature a little bit more implemented and nailed down, I'm sure we will do a more in-depth video about it at a later time. But with that out of the way, let's get started, shall we? Alright, so you got your gun like normal, but when you press the flashlight button, it will now bring up an actual physical flashlight whose beam will follow the path of the animations. So if you reload, for example, you can see the flashlight beam follows the actual flashlight instead of staying center screen at all times. So let's head into this spooky little hallway and give it a go. Just to clear up a couple things, the zombies in that video were just from Half-Life 2, just as placeholders because we do not have our own zombie model at the moment. If you guys know any skilled character artists out there that can do at least Half-Life 2 quality characters at minimum, please send them on our way. We could definitely use another character artist for sure. We are experimenting with some weapons not having the flashlight function available, such as the MP5, but if that proves to be unenjoyable during gameplay, during playtesting, then we can simply add a flashlight attachment to the MP5 just like we did with the shotgun, so don't worry about it. It's all going to come down to playtesting and how it works out with level designers setting up their environments. So anyway, let's move on past that. What do we got going on next? We got a tweet that was teasing at the upcoming 20th anniversary media release. where we showed a screenshot of a Harrier jet model that Nexus made. And then one of our level designers, Frag, did a little stream where he was playing opposing force. And he showed off a few exclusive screenshots from some of his level design, as well as a screenshot from one of my captive freight maps showing some work that I'd been doing recently, experimenting with improving our displacement terrain, so like our cliffs and our ground and dirt and stuff like that. So I basically experimented with creating some new textures and mixing in actual rock models into the terrain itself. I can actually just show you a couple before and afters here real fast. So like here's before, and here's after. Here's before, here's after. Before, after, before, after. So yeah, definitely looks a lot better, and you will be pleased to know that we've done even more work since then. So it's gonna be looking even better than that. All right, so then up next is the large 20th anniversary update. This is the large media dump for that. The first screenshot we got going is from Vicarious Reality. And I believe the next one is from Welcome to Black Mesa. It's like the first chapter of the game, if you don't count Boot Camp. And then... honestly don't remember which chapter this was. I think it's Friendly Fire. And then we have a render of the Harrier jet. Some people were saying that it looks a little plastic. It doesn't look like that in-game. This is just a render from Marmoset, I think. And then we got some rock models that Magma Sloth was working on to improve the cliffs and all that jazz. Then we've got a night skybox that was created by the comedian. This is a skybox that can be used for like community maps and also for multiplayer maps such as Gasworks. For those of you who are scratching your head, thinking to yourself, "Wait, there's no night missions in the game." And then, of course, we've got Vicarious Reality. We got some labs right here. This is the lab where you get the spore launcher from. And then we've got three different... well, I guess technically it's four different models that were created by Nexus. And then the final little bit of media that we showed for 2019 was just a little kind of funny and interesting screenshot from when we were first transitioning our engine over to CSGO. We did some experiments where we put some bull squids in some CSGO maps, and they were shooting acid all over the place. But anyway, guys, yeah, really not a whole lot of public media released during 2019. But you got to remember, this is only the stuff that we chose to release publicly. It's just a very, very tiny little piece of a very like much larger development pie. So we had a ton of stuff going on behind the scenes. We are super excited to show more of it off later. Maybe this year, 2020, or maybe later. Who knows? But yeah, we are pretty excited. We're making more progress than ever. And as I briefly mentioned earlier, we are looking for character artists and 3D artists or organic artists. All of the available positions are listed down in the description below, where you can go and view it on our forums. And so yeah, if you know anybody that could help out, feel free to send them our way, and that would be much appreciated. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this little roundup of all the media in one little spot. And if you got any questions, feel free to leave them down below, assuming that you looked at the frequently asked questions list. Anyway, guys, yeah, I hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one.